Well, welcome to another edition of the Community Development Journal. Hello, I'm Julie Jones, Planning Manager for the City of Fridley. And besides the work on the new Civic Campus, there's another big project that the city staff has been working on this year, and that's development of our 2040 Comprehensive Plan. Every 10 years, we do a long-range plan for the city that looks at various aspects of the city, and we start by gathering data and looking at projections for growth over the next 10 years when we start on doing that, and we gather input from the public by doing surveys and finding out what people's opinions are about certain things. We create maps, and then we start putting together plans for various topics in the city, like transportation, parks and trails. And we're going to talk about a few of those in this program. One in particular is land use. That's the biggie in the comprehensive plan. We're looking at how we're going to plan for the use of land in the next 10 years. And so we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about two new aspects of the comprehensive plan that we were not involved with putting into our plan 10 years ago. And one of those is resiliency, and the other is economic competitiveness. So we're going to talk about that a little bit since there's something new. So stay tuned to learn more about that and other development projects that are happening in the city. Well, one of the parts of the comprehensive plan is the land use chapter. And with me is Stacy Stromberg, who is our land use planner on staff and has been the person working on that particular chapter of the comprehensive plan. So Stacy, maybe start out by telling people kind of the basis that the plan starts out with in the land use chapter is talking about the fact that Fridley is an urban community. And let's start out by telling people what that means.
It means that Fridley was predominantly developed between the end of World War II and the economic recession of 1973 to 1975, and that we experienced rapid development to house the growing families of the baby boomer era. Urban communities also experienced considerable growth along highways, with development dominated by the influence of an automobile.
And the land use chapter is one of the key chapters to the Metropolitan Council as we develop our comprehensive plan. They're looking to know certain things about what we're planning to change in the community. And so why is it that they're looking for those things, Stacy?
That's a good question, Julie. The things that the Met Council looks at are ways to make sure that we maintain and improve our regional infrastructure, which are things like the roads and highways and the water and sewer system. They also want us to plan for forecasted population and household growth, targeting development near transit investments, like our North Star commuter rail station and our future BRT sites that are proposed to be located along University Avenue. They also want us to identify future redevelopment areas, and again, emphasizing those areas on transit and within close proximity to jobs and to housing. They also want us to protect our city waterways, which includes the Mississippi River and Moore Lake, as well as Lock Lake. And they want us to protect the urban forest, which helps to increase property values, provides recreation, and improves air quality and stormwater management.
So Stacy, in the comprehensive plan, we have a lot of action steps related to how we're going to accomplish some of those things that Met Council wants to do. So what are some of the action steps you think are kind of key from the land use chapter?
Staff identified several action steps within the land use plan. However, I'm just going to discuss 3 of them with you today. The first one is that staff could look at modifying our parking regulations for our commercial and industrial zoning districts. Currently, our code requires a high number of parking stalls for a manufacturing use. With today's technology and advancement in equipment, parking isn't needed as much as it once was. Also, most of the city streets were designed with 2 drive lanes and parking on either side. So if we were to allow businesses to park on the street in some areas of the neighborhood, that would reduce the amount of parking that they need on their site, which could then add green space and help with more stormwater management. Another action step would be, since Fridley is scheduled to be served by the Central BRT line, which is the bus rapid transit line, along University Avenue by 2021, staff would partner with MnDOT, Metro Transit, Anoka County, and Spring Lake Park to conduct a corridor study to create master plans around the potential stop areas. An emphasis should be placed on safety for pedestrians crossing and using these BRT stops. And lastly, staff should look at modifying our single-family zoning code and requiring a minimum of 2 trees be planted on a lot with the construction of a new home. This is a standard requirement in all growing suburban communities, and so we feel that it's important for our community as well, as it will expand our urban forests that already exist today.
Thank you, Stacy, for explaining the action steps that are in the land use plan. And many of the action steps in the land use chapter relate to other chapters like the transportation chapter and parks and trails. And if you want to see all of the chapters that we have drafted so far, they are listed on the city website at fridleymn.gov. If you just go to the community development page or just search comprehensive plan in the search tab, you'll get to that section and you can look through those things. And we'll be talking more about other components of the comprehensive plan in a bit, so stay tuned to learn more.
Hi, I'm Amy Kempf, and this is Codes to Know. After the holidays, you may find a lot of stuff accumulating in your house. Packages, boxes, toys or clothes you've outgrown, and it makes sense to want to get rid of these items. Dumpster bags are a popular way to dispose of big accumulations of items or debris, but to let the cat out of the bag, they aren't as simple as you may think. After you order the bag or buy the bag from your favorite hardware store and fill it up, it needs to be removed. You may want to check with your local hauler before buying to see what the cost is for removal. As the bags don't get picked up automatically, call your waste company to schedule a pickup. If you ordered the bag from a separate distributor, call that company in which you ordered it from. The city doesn't have specific regulations on dumpster bags, but we do have codes on outdoor storage and solid waste. Due to these codes and the fact that a green bag of debris quite changes the characteristics of a neighborhood's appearance, the city asks that dumpster bags are kept on properties for no more than 30 days. To educate and inform residents of this policy, letters are sent out to residents whenever a bag is seen. These letters do not mean that you're in trouble or even have a violation. Rather, they're just a reminder that the bag should be removed within 30 days. As always, communicating with inspectors helps us be aware of your situation and avoid violations. We're usually willing to accommodate for long-term projects and building permits. Now, if a bag is seen at a property for over 30 days and a courtesy letter has already been sent and the bag is still there, the bag will officially be an outdoor storage violation and the city will have to take further action to have the bag removed. Thank you for helping keep Fridley a safe, vibrant, friendly, and stable home for families and businesses. If you have additional questions, you can call me at 763-572-3598.
Well, I'm here in one of our industrial districts here in Fridley with Rachel Workin, our environmental planner, who's been one of many staff people on our city staff working on updates to our comprehensive plan. One area that's new in the comprehensive plan is resiliency, and that's an area that Rachel's been working on. And so, Rachel, we probably should start by telling people what resiliency is.
Sure. So residents of Fridley are no strangers to extreme weather events. The 1965 tornado took out 1 in every home in Fridley. But if you've been listening to the news, you've probably heard that extreme weather events are happening more and more frequently. Resiliency is all about how we can be prepared for these events, how quickly we can bounce back. Can we limit the impacts of the damage? Resiliency is also about limiting the occurrence of these effects. While we can't stop a tornado that's coming at us, we do know that if we can limit our greenhouse gas emissions, we can slow the increasing frequency of extreme weather events. Ways that people can limit their greenhouse gas emissions, such as carbon dioxide, are by spending less time in the car, conserving energy at home, and relying on alternative energy sources such as solar or wind.
So why, Rachel, then is resiliency an important thing for us to put in the long-range plans for the city, the comprehensive plan?
So there are many reasons to include resiliency in the comprehensive plan. One is that the comprehensive plan provides an opportunity for the city to state its goals and what's important to us. That we want Fridley to be a safe and vibrant city for our residents 100 years from now. Another reason why it's important to include resiliency in the comprehensive plan is to make sure that we have the budget and systems in place in order to address some of the changes that we're going to see. People have probably seen that we're getting a lot more rain a lot more frequently. So in the comprehensive plan, we need to be looking at whether our stormwater management systems are designed appropriately. Do we have enough space for all the water to go? And if we're building a new road or a new trail, how are we going to make sure that it's not flooded all the time?
So how are we doing that in the comprehensive plan, stating what it is that we need to do for resiliency?
Sure. Well, one place that it's showing up a lot is in our management of our stormwater. Do we have place for all the water and flooding to go? The project behind us, which is a little hard to see under the snow, is one example of a really great project that the city has done in partnership with a local business and the Anoka Conservation District to address some of this new flooding we're seeing. The business that we worked with was seeing some really bad flooding that was shutting down their operations. So the city, Anoka Conservation District, and the business worked together to enhance the stormwater pond on their property and install an iron enhanced sand filter. This gave additional space for the water to go, and the iron enhanced sand filter is a device that removes some of the nutrients from the water before it reaches the Mississippi so that it's cleaner before discharge. In addition to treatment of stormwater, we're talking about resiliency in ensuring that people in Fridley can get around without a car, that it's easy to walk and bike safely. We're also making sure that the city is supportive of solar, and that we're creating and also in our landscape practices. We don't think about commonly how much energy goes into all of the fertilizer that we use on our lawns, both in the city's parks as well as on private property. So creating and using more native plantings in our landscaping, that can help us reduce our chemical use. It can create better habitat for pollinators such as bees and butterflies, and it creates more biodiversity. That's a huge part of resiliency too.
And a lot of these things that Rachel's talking about are in a multitude of chapters within the comprehensive plan. I know she's worked primarily on the local water chapter and the critical area chapter, but all of these chapters have action steps where a lot of these things are mentioned in them. And the ones that are completed right now are posted on the city's website. So if you look under community development and search for comprehensive plan, you can find those things and take a look at them, and there's an opportunity for you to comment on things and give us more ideas if you have them. So thank you, Rachel, for bringing up this topic, and we look forward to hearing your feedback on it.
Hi, I'm Amy Kempf, and this is Codes to Know. With the Super Bowl in Minnesota this year, we have a very important topic on Codes to Know: defense. Whether you're a Packers or a Vikings fan, you can admit that defense wins championships. Oh, apparently we're actually focusing on fence regulations, regular fences. My bad. In the city of Fridley, you don't need a permit to put up a fence. However, the fence needs to be entirely on your own property. So a survey is recommended so you can know your property lines. It's the property owner's responsibility to know their own property line. The fence can't be higher than 4 feet in the front yard and 7 feet in the side and rear yard. Fences also need to be constructed of substantial material and be in a workmanship-like manner. Fences need to be maintained in a condition of reasonable repair, replacing boards and being painted as needed. Fencing needs to be provided to positively control access to public and private residential swimming pools. However, the fencing for swimming pools is different and can be found in City Code 115.2 0.5. That's the scoop on fences in Fridley. For further questions, call 763-572-3598. Go on!
One new requirement in our update to the comprehensive plan is to have a section on economic competitiveness. And the staff person here at Fridley who's been working mostly on that requirement is Annie Leibel, who's our HRA intern. And so Annie, we should tell people a little bit about this because I know that in our previous comprehensive plan, one section that a lot of people are interested in is redevelopment because they want to know what's the city's proposing to change in land use. And that requirement is now in the land use chapter.
Yes, in the last comprehensive plan update, the city had a chapter focusing on the economic and redevelopment areas of the city. This time, the section has been rebranded to discuss the businesses and workers of our community. The economic competitiveness chapter keys in on the strengths of our economy and focuses on the needs by forming policies and action steps to guide the city over the next 10 years.
So Annie, I think one of the things I really like about the economic competitiveness chapter is some of the data that you found about employment and jobs in Fridley.
Fridley has about 23,000 jobs, which is almost 8,000 more jobs than people in the workforce. Many of these jobs are in manufacturing. 35% of all jobs in Fridley are in this sector. The city also has large global employers that attract complementary businesses. Medtronic has over 3,000 employees, and combined, our top 10 employers have over 9,000 jobs. Our businesses generate a large portion of tax revenue in Fridley. It is important for the city to pay attention to the needs of businesses and create a competitive atmosphere to attract new businesses to the city.
So Annie, what are some of the ways that we are supporting businesses through the action steps in the comprehensive plan?
One way to support our businesses is to lobby for additional bus routes throughout the city. Currently, 98% of residents have access to a transit stop within a half mile of their home, but businesses in Fridley face a larger gap. To address this issue, the city partnered with a county and was awarded a grant to offer shuttle service to many businesses from the North Star train. While this will provide a temporary transit option, something more permanent will be needed in the future. Several industrial areas on the northern and southern edge of our cities face large transportation gaps. The transportation needs of these areas will need to be examined to find alternative modes of transportation for those workers.
And of course, there are other action steps in the comprehensive plan also that are designed to support businesses in various chapters of the comprehensive plan. So the economic competitiveness chapter, as well as the other chapters of the comprehensive plan, can all be viewed on our city website at fridleymn.gov. We encourage you to go take a look, and there's an opportunity for you to submit comments that come to us if there's things that you feel should be changed in the draft plan. It is a draft, a working document that we continue to work on. And thank you, Annie, for your good work on it. She's been key to helping us put it all together and make it look great, not just writing things. So we really appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rachel Workin, and I'm the environmental planner for the City of Fridley. I'm here today to tell you about some exciting changes to our recycling drop-off program in 2018. As you know, the city has traditionally held 3 recycling drop-off events per year over at the Public Works Garage. However, with the construction of the new Civic Campus, we've been looking for a new facility for these events. Starting in 2018, the city will be hosting all of its recycling drop-offs 10 minutes up the road at the Green Lights Recycling Center at 1525 99th Lane. We hosted our summer drop-off at Green Lights in 2017, and we're really pleased with the short wait times and quick service. Also, with the cost savings of hosting all events at Green Lights, the city will be able to increase the number of events from 3 per year up to 6. Our first event will occur on Saturday, January 13th, and subsequent events will be hosted March 10th, May 12th, July 14th, September 8th, and November 10th. All events will occur from 9 a.m. to noon. At these drop-offs, Fridley residents will be able to recycle many items for free, including bicycles, scrap metal, fluorescent light bulbs, and handheld electronics, including tablets and cell phones. We will also be offering recycling of many items for subsidized pricing, including mattresses, TVs, appliances, and carpet. Additionally, all Fridley residents will be able to use one $15 off coupon per event. This coupon could be used to recycle 2 large appliances for free, 1 mattress for free, 3 small electronics for free, or $15 off a large television. A copy of these coupons will be mailed to you in early January, and you can also bring up digital versions of the coupon at our website, www.fridleymn.gov/drop-off. In addition to recycling drop-offs, we are also hosting paper shredding at these events. All Fridley residents will be able to bring up to 4 boxes of paper to have it securely shredded for free. If you have any questions about these events or how to dispose and recycle of items at your house, please give me a call at 763-572-3594. You can find a complete price list of our drop-off events at our website, fridleymn.gov/drop-off. We hope to see you January 13th for our first drop-off event of the year at Green Lights Recycling from 9 to noon.
Well, that concludes this episode of the Community Development Journal. Some other things that are going to be going on here in the coming months, and some things happening in spring. Building continues to occur at the Northern Stacks development on East River Road, south of the freeway. They seem to be filling up buildings as fast as they can build them in that development. In the spring, we'll see the third and final building of the Cielo Apartments project on University Avenue get built. That was originally planned to be a senior building. The latest in the market studies that they've done there, they're planning to change that plan and just make that a market rate building. We're waiting for, we've given approvals and just kind of waiting to work out some permit details on a new commercial development at 83rd and University, which would be right in front of the Banfield Crossing Apartments. So it will be some new restaurant development there that will be good for the neighborhood. And then a lot of people have been asking about what's happening with the old Domino's building on University Avenue, and that's getting reconstructed to be a new eye clinic in the city. So those are kind of the things I know about at this time that are going on. Things are changing. We hope to, in the spring, see some new housing development happening here at the Civic Campus as well. So we'll see how that unfolds here in the coming months. Another thing that will be coming up this summer as well that you might want to mark your calendar for, it'll be the first ever historic home tour in Fridley. If you've ever been to Anoka does this has done this for a number of years, and we're going to do it here. Our Fridley History Center is going to be doing that for a fundraiser on Sunday, July 22nd. So be watching for an opportunity to buy a ticket for that event that I think will be very interesting for people that have lived here particularly a long time in the city. So as always, stay tuned. We'll keep you updated as we learn more about development in Fridley.
This has been a production of Fridley Municipal Television, Channel 17. Thanks for watching.